Are you a football fan? Have you ever found yourself wondering, what in the world was that ref thinking? Well, Mike D, the referee, is here to help you. Join me on Whistle Talk as I talk to professionals on the field and in the booth to help you understand what is going on inside the mind of a football official. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Whistle Talk. Mike D, the referee, coming at you here from a cold and snowy New Jersey today. Yeah, we got about close to 2 feet of snow over the weekend here, so we're dealing with another snow day, having some fun days off, things like that. But unfortunately, I was not able to truly enjoy my snow days as I've been fighting off a nice cold, so I do apologize. Well, today's going to be a very quick intro because the majority of today's episode has already been pre-recorded. With that being said, before we dive into the episode today, if you're enjoying the show, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, share it along with your friends, your family, even whatever you have to do. Let's just get the word out. We're in the recruiting season now for the officials, so if anybody is looking to become an official or knows somebody who's looking to become official, reach out to me, reach out to Battlefields to Ballfields. Okay, great organization there. Again, check all those different things out. Let me throw up that Battlefields to Ballfields icon. There it is, battlefieldstoballfields.org. Go check them out. They're giving out scholarships to help people get started in the officiating world. So if you know anybody that is a former veteran, let them know. We got opportunities for them. And lastly, before we dive into today's episode, I want to talk about another group that I was able to partner up with, Coach Soak. Coach Soak. So I'm going to throw up the link here. So if you're somebody that's like me, if you're an athlete, you're a coach, something like that, and you train hard, you practice hard, you're running, all that other fun stuff. Well, we all do those things, but do we recover properly? Recovery is where we really win. And that's why I've started using Coach Soak. It's a muscle recovery bath soak that's made with magnesium flakes to help replenish the essential minerals in our bodies. I'm finding it works better than just the Epsom salt. It's a 20-minute soak. It's going to help take the edge off the soreness, so that the next day's games, practices, whatever it may be, for the coaches, for the players, for us officials, it helps you feel like you didn't get hit by a Mack truck. There's natural ingredients, and it's a simple routine. If you're serious about your recovery, give it a shot. Coach Soak. So again, here is the link for Coach Soak here that I got, and I'll put that in the show notes. But check them out. And right now, if you go there, you can get free shipping on any orders over $40. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate it. So with today's episode, doing something like I mentioned earlier, where I've already got the episodes, well, not the episodes, but the content itself recorded. This is from this past weekend's Glacier Football Clinic. And for those that are unaware of what the Glacier Football Clinic is, it's a coach's clinic. I've talked in the past about officials clinics, but I've also, as a coach, gone to a number of these clinics. And with this one, what my goal was is not only to pick up a couple things to help my son's team out, but also to kind of pick the brains of other coaches from around the state, from other states, different things like that. So what I was able to do is I had a list of questions that I wanted to ask the different coaches about rules, about us officials, and about what we could do to make the game a little bit better. So what you're going to hear today is just a compilation of a couple of the coaches that I was able to speak with and record, and just to hear their points of views on things that we're doing, and hopefully how we can make the game better between the two of us. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it along to, well, me down in Atlantic City over this past weekend. So here we go. Take it over, Mike D. All right, Mike D, the referee, getting ready here at the Glacier Clinic down in Atlantic City. Hoping to meet up with some coaches today, talk some football, talk some rules, and just have a good day. So Get ready to hear for some officials set up here at Atlantic City. All right, here we are at the Glazier Clinic. I am here with an old friend of mine, head coach from New Egypt High School, Steve Fence. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm talking football in the middle of February right now. So
Great place to be.
Absolutely. So a couple questions for you, Coach. So first question, talking about a short yardage play. We got 4th and inches, big pile on the line to gain the first down for those that don't know. What would you rather we take, us officials, take our extra time to sort out the spot in the chains or move quickly and live with fewer conferences and why? So basically, you want us to take our time, get everything set up correctly, or it's a situation where you want to get back on the ball and go. What would you rather?
To me, it's all about situational stuff and flow of the game. So, if I'm a hurry-up based team, I want you guys to kind of set that ball and let us get moving. We are not a hurry-up team. We take our time. We huddle. So again, at your pace, but not interrupting flow of the game, allowing things to flow properly. What's best for your crew. I think, hurry up. We go against hurry up based teams, and that's getting those chain sets really, really an important thing for them.
Yep.
And we actually coach our defense to get set in those situations. So again, every game's different based on situations. Obviously, if it's clear first down, pace is good. If it's close play, you want to get the call right. So if there's a measurement that's needed, I want to see a measurement. I want to, even on a third down, I might want to know how close the ball is and things like that. So,
okay.
Flow of the game. If you're a hurry up team, clear first down. No need for conferences pace. Just do your thing. But you guys do a great job with that. That's never really been an issue in our games. Is the speed of the officials and getting chain set and stuff like that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Another question for you. Talking mechanics wise. You watch film, you watch all the stuff. You got your games are typically 6-man games. Is there a mechanic? Is there a time where you feel we're not in a good position to possibly make a call? So say it's a goal line situation and who's got the best angle? Is there a situation where you're like, well, you guys weren't in the right position, or is there a mechanic that you think can improve that we can do a better job with?
For me, it's always deep routes, because we run a lot of flood routes and a lot of routes that will clear safety. So we when you throw deep routes, it's always tough for an official to get to that back corner for us. And then we'll because if he clears, we'll have an underneath route coming, like a 12-yard out or a stick route or something like that.
Okay.
So those routes are difficult for officials just because of the amount of people in a certain area. So I always like to communicate with the official, and I feel like officials do a great job communicating where they're going to be during the game. I always will ask where the red wristband is going to be for my quarterback and communicate that to them. And I'll always communicate with the official, how are you with me running down the sideline and coming out of the box, to call timeouts and stuff like that. And they always do a great job of communicating what they want and where they'll be. So to me, communication with an official is the most important thing.
Okay. And one last question for you. I don't want to hold you up from your learning experience here. What rule change do you like that has recently come into play, or consequently a rule change that you really don't think is needed that came in maybe the last couple years? Any rule change in particular?
No, not really. Again, just the communication of what the rule changes are. I think the preseason is really, really important with officials for them to go through what the changes are and kind of maybe go overboard in preseason games with that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, everything that's gone on, I think, has been for the good of the game, and the game's in a great spot. And again, it comes back to communication with the officials. What they're looking for, what they want, and things like that. So officials do a great job in the preseason communicating what those changes are, and nothing really that has affected us too much.
All right, cool. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, once again, coming from the Glazier Clinic here in Atlantic City, I'm joined now by head coach John Emmel from West Deptford here in New Jersey. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Coach just got out of a session with the Navy offensive guys. You're running the triple option?
Not the triple, Navy's changed a lot. They're in the gun, 30% pass, power read, in the shotgun 50% of the time. So, just we've run some of that stuff, but I just like to hear good football coaches speak, and the Naval Academy does a tremendous job.
They do a great job. I used to go down to their clinics down there when I was coaching myself. So a couple quick questions for you about officiating. New Jersey, we're typically a 6-person crew, not a 7-person crew until the playoffs. But is there a mechanic or is there something where the official's in the way, the official doesn't have a good angle, can't come crashing in on a goal line or a first down spot? Is there a mechanic that you would like to possibly see changed, or is everything kind of good what you're seeing?
No, I'm an advocate of the 6 people crew. I was disappointed that for a number of years they allowed some schools to still operate with 5-man crews because that definitely changes the mechanics. I think I'd like a little more clarification on the 7-man crew. I do like it because I know at the NFL level, there's one official responsible for each eligible receiver.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot more illegal contact. Now we don't throw the ball to that level at the high school game, but I think there's some benefits obviously to the 7-man crews and the ability to watch. Nothing gets missed.
Yeah, you got a guy deep center field with that one, which was
And I
actually
think it's
a benefit.
paid off. I think they went to it this year, the sectional finals, right?
Yes.
And the year before it was the state semifinals and the state finals. And I'm in favor of it. I know, for your average Friday night game between two districts that are financially strapped, which is a lot of schools, it's a tough sell.
Yeah.
But I think for the biggest games, I love seeing a 7-man crew.
Yeah, it's awesome. So next question. Coach got some fans. Next question for you. If there is one thing that you could change rule-wise, what would that change be? Or you like everything that they've done in the past couple of years? Is there a rule specific?
Trying to think of some of the rules that, we've gotten rid of.
Are you familiar with the new rule that's coming out this year, or the emphasis with the head slap in essence?
Yeah, it's got to do kind of like with the NFL, like protecting the offensive lineman, protecting the quarterbacks
Yeah.
with, I guess would say contact to the head and neck area. I'm in favor of protect any player safety rule. I'm in favor of. Hey, coach. I think the rules that didn't make sense for a while we've kind of eliminated. I think the what's the word I'm looking for? We got rid of for a while the intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks out of the pocket. That was kind of a rule that mitigated the safety because you had to get it past the line of scrimmage, even though you were out of the pocket and you were throwing it away. I think can the defensive players cut the offensive linemen
Same rule.
in the perimeter, the corners and
In
stuff?
the perimeter, no.
They can't, right? So
cannot.
it's anything like that that protects the offensive
Yeah.
guys. I can't think of a thing. I'd like to see a mandated play clock in New Jersey. That to me,
I mean, some
when
schools do have it.
When we do have it, we've used it too. When I was at Pennsylvania, we brought it in for a couple of years. What we noticed is on the huddle, when you get the play clock, you go from 100 and 110 plays in a game to 130 and 140 plays, and that's for a reason.
Yeah.
Because the ball's getting set when it's supposed to, and
Yep.
the pace of play, you get more possession. So I just think while it does put an onus on teams to be more organized, I think it's better for the game because it's just like something that's consistent.
Yeah.
We were looking at the game clock and we're seeing 50 seconds go off between snaps, and we're like, come on, man, let's speed the game up, let's play football.
I
I
hear you.
think so. Things like that, the technology, if that could integrate, I think I'd like to see I'd like to see the headset with the quarterback to coach, like the NFL and the
Yeah.
college. I don't know. I don't know.
have it in baseball.
I don't know how much this goes to like the officials thing, but I definitely think like these are things that help make our game, improve the quality of our game.
Yeah, they have that in baseball with the pitcher and catcher. So
Yeah, so maybe I think we'll get that at some point in high school. I mean, it happened in the NFL with offense and defense. It's happened in college.
Yep.
Usually it trickles down and gets to high school. I'd be in favor of that, and I don't know how it would work, but in terms of I say the play clock because it cuts off at a specific point.
Yeah.
You can't obviously have it live during the play, but I think there's maybe when he breaks the huddle, it goes off, something like that. But I think, if I could think of anything officials wise, I don't know. I'd like to see more like ineligible players report on the goal line. I know that makes it a little more complicated, but I'm all in favor of things that give the offense a better fighting chance.
Okay.
So I think, what I like to see is the substitution rule. I like to see if the offense subs, I like the defense get a chance to match.
Yep.
Because I think in high school right now, guys run in and out, and defensive guys are at disadvantage. And I think, speaking for our defensive coaches, they would like to see the umpire step in and say, you know what, you got 10 seconds to match. You got time. Because I think that's, especially down on the goal line and back in our area inside the red zone when we're backed up,
Yep.
That's where the offense has a real advantage.
You got a long run to get out there.
Yeah, and we don't have, guys up top in the stadium with 8 camera angles telling us when guys are coming in and out. I think so. Things like that, will make the game better.
Okay, cool. Appreciate your time,
Yeah.
Coach. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Have a
good
great
one.
day.
Cool, Coach. Thank you.
Some good stuff.
All right, so I'm here with the head coach of Millville High School, a team that I had the honor of working one of their playoff games this year. Unfortunately, Coach, I apologize, didn't work out in your favor.
It's all right.
But Coach, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm living the dream. I'm talking football in February right now with a
Yeah.
bunch of coaches, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah.
So this is Coach Ayala. So Coach, a couple quick questions for you. When it comes to official rules and stuff like that, is there any rule that you truly like that they put into play recently, or on the flip side that you don't? Why did they do that? Like, why did they put that rule into play or something like that?
I don't know if there's rules per se. I think the thing that always gets me is how sometimes the officials harp on attire and how kids are dressed in comparison to the game call. When I just don't. I mean, like, if you look at it the next level, it's a non-existent thing, and I think we put too much emphasis on it instead of just worrying about the game. That's my opinion,
No, and you're not in the minority with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's a bane of our existence as officials too. So it's something that across the board, either
understand.
it's got to be 100% or
Yeah.
you gotta do nothing about it. So
Yeah, I get it.
It's one of those things. All right, back here at the Glazier Clinic with head coach of Marlboro High School, Jay Degato. Coach, how are you today?
Doing all right. How about you?
Oh, I'm living the dream here. Living the dream. So a couple questions for you, Coach.
Sure.
First one. What is a behavior? What's an officiating behavior or a conversation that you have with the white hat or even during the game with the sideline officials where it's something that you're seeing and gaining their trust, or vice versa, they're gaining your trust, or you got a good crew and you're figuring that out? Like, what's something that you kind of do to see if you figure that out?
Honestly, the two biggest things for me, just even in pregame, just kind of talking, just about some of the things that I usually, want to communicate about during the game. Like, for example, if there's a penalty, I always like to know a number so that I can correct my kids. If I'm seeing things on the field, can I communicate to my guy on the sideline to then know that he's going to radio that in
Gotcha.
to the guys on the field that, he was responsible for whatever we're seeing. And then just communicating also early on about, situations where goal line and I need to step out of the box to call timeouts, and being able to make sure I can communicate that with everybody so we're all on the same page where, I'm not relegated to that box. That's kind of the big ones for me.
So another question for you, mechanics-wise, of football officials. Umpires in the middle of the field, 6-person game, so your sidelines are covered. Is there a mechanic that you feel is beneficial to the game, say plays along the sidelines, middle of the field, or is there a mechanic that you think we're not in the greatest position to possibly see the play or see the penalty that could occur?
No, honestly, the 6-man I like, because I think you kind of cover all the angles. Like, sideline throws, you're in a good position to get that. You got the umpire in the middle there with the holdings. I think it's very clear as far as, who's got the play clock and everything.
Okay.
So I think the 6-man crew, I kind of like the positioning and mechanics there. It's pretty good.
All right, last question for you. If there was one rule that you could change today to make the game better, what rule would that be?
Oh, that is a great question. One rule that I could change today.
Not just for personal benefit, but for the game itself.
Of course. Man, I don't know. Kind of like the old overload on sides.
Okay.
Getting the extra guys over onto the side. You're relegated. I get it. Safety issues, all that totally makes sense. But I liked all the little funky things you used to be able to do. But not so much anymore.
It's all for the safety.
Yes, it is.
All right. Coach, appreciate you. Take care. Have
Thanks.
a good one.
You too.